First off, I'd like to start by saying that this video is not intended to promote hatred, racism, or violence towards any particular group of people, but rather to shine light on a particular subject matter. Let's go. Who cares to talk about racism? The first thing that came to this young lady's mind was a race, like an actual race. You see, they don't know nothing about this stuff. You gotta teach them. So why are human beings being labeled as crayons? We're not crayons. Everybody's just like, man, what the going on? But then you got your folks that are encouraging it. They can look all they want. They never correct the issue. Just sit back and watch.
3G4 Media.
What's up, everybody? It's your brother David Woodfork with 3G4 Media, and I'm back at it again. First off, I just want to say I appreciate everybody that has subscribed to the channel so far, everybody that has liked, comment, shared your thoughts on the content that I've put out so far. I want to say thank you, first off, before I dive straight into this video. Now, let's go ahead without further ado. The topic of this one is racism is taught. Why I say that? Because I believe that. I believe that kids are innocent. Kids don't know nothing about racism until it's introduced to them. You know, I can really go deep with that as far as psychology-wise, but I'm going to save that for another video. But the way a child mind works, is, you know, until you introduce them to something or until they're introduced to it, they really don't know nothing about it. Kids are very inquisitive. They want to know. They ask questions, especially if you present something to them. Kids also talk. With that being said, I came home today and my son, who is in first grade, told me about some experiences that he's having at school. What is that? He is experiencing the big R word. What R word am I talking about? Come on. Don't act surprised. Racism. That's right. My son that's in first grade is giving me and telling me about how he's experiencing racism at school. And, you know, first thing comes to my mind, you know, as the person that I am, I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Because the way it happened, my wife and I were talking about something and my son just hauls off and he starts saying, yeah, it's not cool to treat people in no certain way because of their color. You know, you're not supposed to treat people bad because of the color of their skin. You know, and I know I've taught them those things, but then he furthermore continues to go. And then he says about how a little boy at school has been telling him he's not going to be friends with him because of the color of his skin, and telling my son that my son has to play with the black kids and the little boy has to go play with the white kids. OMG. That's right. You heard it. First grade talking just like that. Now, I just want to say, we have to teach each other to love each other. We have to love our children. We have to show the utmost respect, the utmost support, and the utmost love towards each other. Why? Because every day, people are working their damnness to do the opposite. Every single day. You know, so my wife and I, we teach our kids all about who they are. We teach our kids about, you know, to love themselves, you know, to appreciate themselves for who they are, not what somebody else or what society wants them to be. We teach them that. But we never teach our kids to hate people. We don't teach our kids to hate people. Although I know that there are people out there doing just that. We're not those type of folks. I believe in fighting fire with fire, but I also believe in righteousness, right? And we're talking about children. It's not righteous to instill hatred in the minds of kids. I don't care how you cut the pie. for a child to talk that way, you know how the parents very well may be. Or there's a possibility, if we want to go there and say there's a possibility that maybe the parents ain't that way. Maybe the kids just see it and picked it up from somewhere else. And maybe the parents ain't caught on to it yet. But see, I have kids myself. I have a handful of kids, I must say. And one thing that I have noticed about kids is when or if your child picks up something from somewhere else, a lot of times children, they're smart. I don't want to say kids are stupid, but children, it don't click to, hey, sometimes I better not say or do this in front of mom or dad. So they may do or say certain things, and if you're the parent that's really on top of your kids, then you're going to be like, wait a minute, what did you just say? Where did you get that from? But some folks, they just enable what their kids do, enable the behavior that their kids do. I don't enable that type of behavior. I teach my kids to love themselves, respect themselves, and don't tolerate foolishness. I teach them to protect themselves. We're not offenders, we're defenders. That's what I teach my kids, right? But obviously, in 2025, there are people still teaching their kids bullcrap. Now, before I go on any farther, I want to show y'all a few clips of some examples of how racism is taught. Let's dive straight in. So the brother comes out and they immediately just start booing. Watch this little kid's face, man. Just watch how this little kid's finna start looking.
Hey, nigger boy! Get the hell out of Cincinnati! We don't want you here! Go back to Brooklyn!
You see? Sitting right next to the boy. Hey, boy, go back to Brooklyn. Look how the people looking. Look how the little boy looking. Everybody just like, man, what the going on? But then you got your folks that are encouraging it. They can look all they want. They never correct the issue. Just sit back and watch.
Hey, boy, hey, nigga, I'm talking to you. Get the hell out of Cincinnati. We don't want you here, boy.
Poor kid, he don't understand what's going on. But although he don't understand what's going on, he like, this is normal. Maybe this is what the right thing to do. Wow. You see, sitting right next to his dad, maybe that was his dad, maybe it wasn't, but sitting right next to whomever it was, seeing the behavior that they display, and then the kid does the same thing. When I work out, when I lift weights, my kids want to work out, my kids want to lift weights. If I'm acting stupid, my kids going to want to act stupid, so on and so on and so on. Lead by example, folks, but some folks just don't give a damn. Next, I'm going to show y'all a small piece of this clip from an episode on PBS Kids where they had an entire group of kids and they were discussing the concept of race and identity and all that good stuff with the kids. Just watch and see how most of the kids, maybe majority of the kids, didn't even understand what race was.
Today we're going to talk about race, racism, identity. Are these conversations that you have at home sometimes?
Yeah. Sometimes.
The kids say sometimes, like they barely have the conversation. And that's the problem. People are not talking about it. People don't want to talk about it because who cares? Who cares to talk about racism? We can start the issue of racism, but we can't fix it.
It can sometimes be hard and sometimes be easy.
It can be.
What are some of the questions you've asked me?
Like, what is race?
And did we talk about it?
Mm-hmm.
When people say, we're talking about race, what do you think of?
I get two things.
Okay, let
First,
me know.
like a race, like an actual race.
The first thing that came to this young lady's mind was a race, like an actual race. You see, they don't know nothing about this stuff. You got to teach them. And then when you start asking them the definitions of race and racism,
Like a
Okay. What's the second one?
probably skin color. Different skin colors.
But we're humans. We can speak. We can express our emotions. The human race, basically.
The human race.
Yeah.
I love it.
you see? Come on now. You can tell that some of these answers that some of these kids are giving, somebody gave them these. I mean, it's cool. You know, we got to teach and educate our kids the right way. Not teach them to hate folks. But it's like I said, it's really sad we got to even go down this rabbit hole with children anyway.
How would you describe the word race?
Skin color.
And then how would you describe the word racism?
Not treating people fairly just because of their skin color.
Because of their skin color?
And that's another thing. Why are humans defined by their race, which is a skin color? But let's take dogs, for example. If I take a German Shepherd and bring that German Shepherd to America, breed 2 German Shepherds, what are you going to call that puppy? Some people going to say, well, that's an American German Shepherd. But you still acknowledge that dog by the bloodline. So why are human beings being labeled as crayons? We're not crayons. Black and white. Come on, man.
So how does it make you feel, Destiny, when people are treated badly just because the color of their skin?
Makes me feel sad because they're not living the way that they want to live.
Man, she couldn't have answered that no better way. She said it makes her sad because they can't live the way that they want to live. You can't even live comfortable in your own skin. People want to make you feel bad about being in your own skin. You know, we got to watch out for these type of people, man. We got to watch out for these type of entities and spirits that's roaming around here that want to make you feel bad about your own skin. You know, that's oppression. You know, racism and oppression are 2 different things, but they kind of go hand in hand. That's a whole nother video. But you're oppressing people, making somebody feel like they can't even be themselves around you because you're making them feel so bad. And that makes you feel good.
It makes me feel sad too.
I have a lot of friends. Some of them have different skin colors than me. And I don't say, ew, you have such and such skin color. That's gross. I don't say that.
So what if somebody did the same thing to you that you're doing to somebody else? Well, I know most of them going to say, I don't care. I don't care. Yeah, you don't care anyway, huh? Yeah, you ain't going to care until it start affecting you.
I tell them you are beautiful and you are who you're supposed to be.
We want to raise you with a heart that sees those differences and celebrates those differences.
And we've always talked about you treat somebody.
The way that you want to be treated. And that's exactly what I teach my kids. Right? You know, just because somebody else is being ignorant, you don't got to continue being ignorant, or you don't have to be ignorant with them. You don't got to stoop to their level. You know, I'm a firm believer in pulling somebody by their coattail now. When somebody crossing you or have wronged you in a particular way. But there's also a time, there's also a place, there's also a way. Right? And there's a way to raise children. And you don't raise children that way. I'm done with my ranting. I appreciate y'all for watching. I just had to talk about this. I want to know what y'all think about this. Do you think that racism is taught? Do you think that, you know, kids just learn it? Are they born with it? Are they naturally born racist? Are kids naturally born racist? That's a good question. Or are they taught racism? Anyways, I appreciate y'all for watching. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like. Make sure you share. Make sure you comment. Leave me your thoughts. Let me know what you think. It's your brother, Devrick Woodfork, 3G4 Media. Peace.